Hello and welcome back to the Guns and Outdoors channel. Hit the like and subscribe if you enjoyed the video. Today we're going to do a U.S. Navy boot camp reaction video out in Great Lakes, Illinois. When I was in, we had 3 boot camps. San Diego, California, where I went, Orlando, Florida, where some of my buddies went, and then Great Lakes, where other ones go. These days, there's only one, so we're going to have a look at it. Obviously, yours truly. I had a couple duty stations once I graduated. I went to Japan. I was on a guided missile frigate, small boy. Later transferred to stateside to Alameda, California, Naval Air Station, where I transferred to the USS Arkansas. That was cool. That was a CGN. That's right, nuclear powered cruiser, 2 nuclear reactors. Our cruiser would guard the battle group. So here in the video, you're gonna see some old school stuff from Alameda, old school carriers, and then you're going to see the Enterprise, the Carl Vinson, and I believe the Abraham Lincoln. The 2 of the 3 were home ported. Not sure about the Enterprise, but good career, enjoyed it, decided to get out and do the college thing like most folks, but have the fondest memories, and I'm so glad I served. So if you're thinking about serving and you've passed your ASVAB, you've picked your job in the Navy, we call it pick your fate. Sorry, choose your rate, pick your fate. So what I recommend to you guys is if you don't get the job, be careful that you want, go back and try to take the test again. Watch out for those apprenticeship programs and those striker programs. They're a little more hassle. They sound good at first, smaller commitments. You get to try your job out before you do it. But the best thing to do is get your contract, as they always say, get it in writing before you go in. If you don't like what that recruiter at MEPS is telling you, sleep on it, come back another day. It's your career, your life. Choose your rate, choose your fate. All right, let's get to the video.
Get the first one. Do you understand?
Real quick, everybody gets in, you fly in from all around the country. Some recruits, they leave their state for the very first time in their lives. The world is a big place, but sometimes it's not so big. So when you land in, I think you go to the USO, you get to your airport, in this case probably Chicago O'Hare, I'm not really sure about that exact airport, and they kind of group you up and you get on this infamous bus ride. Everybody has them. You know what's coming next.
Hurry up! Go!
When they get there, immediately, we're going to be outside waiting for them, and we're going to start.
Let's go. Get on the bus. Let's go.
Recruit Training Command is the quarterdeck of the United States Navy.
Good order and discipline will be maintained 24/7. Proper military posture will be maintained 24/7.
Every enlisted sailor begins their naval career here, and our mission is fairly simple. It's to transform civilians into smartly disciplined, physically fit sailors.
Welcome to the United States Navy.
Everybody's scared walking through the door, but listen to every word that's spoken, because the little words are what's going to get you the attention you don't want.
Stop moving.
If we tell you to run, run. If we tell you to stop, stop. If we tell you look straight forward, look straight forward. If we tell you shut your mouth, shut your mouth. You need to be able to listen and do what you're told. Quick.
All right, so here's the thing. In today's world, every generation talks about the previous generation and how their service was a lot difficult and tougher. I just think that's just how it was. When I went in the 90s, it was the 80s and the 70s. That's one of those things. Every generation is different. One of the adages when I went to boot camp was this. I had a grandfather that was in World War II. He went old school. He's, Grandpa, what advice do you have? Put your head down, shut your mouth, do what they tell you. There's something to be said about the simplicity of that from the greatest generation. Also, the respect thing and that sort of thing, you have to kind of, you're going into the military, you're in the military's world now. People don't know anyone, and that's the concept. Military, as they always say, no matter what branch, they break you down and build you back up. If you go in with a chip on your shoulder, you're already demonstrating situations that you're not a team player, you're not willing to learn, you're kind of at a disadvantage. And RDCs, or in my case, company commanders back in the day, they're going to sniff that out and they're going to go after you. You might get weeded out. Real quick on another thing, a lot of times in the Navy, it's kind of brains versus brawn. That's how I refer to it. A lot of folks that go into the Navy, they're a little soft. Definitely show up having worked out a little bit. I know sometimes that's harder said than done. We're not all super athletes and fit, but definitely it's probably not going to be as hardcore as the Marines, but you do need to know how to do your run, your 1.5 mile run, X amount of sit-ups and push-ups, and you need to be able to kind of do those. Whatever the stats are, they base it on your age. And normally it was like 1.5 miles in 11:45 or 12:45. You had to do 30, 40 sit-ups, and you had to do 30, 40 push-ups. Don't crucify me on that, but if you have some constructive feedback, put it in the bottom just for other new folks that might be going in and they want the exact numbers. I'm kind of glossing over it a little bit because it's been a while. Back to the video.
Don't just act through fear or stress. You have to be able to make decisions, listen to input, and do things accurately the first time. That's going to be the key to success.
First, I also said you'll sound off.
Ready for follow-on training and service to the fleet. And while doing so, to instill in them the highest values of honor, courage, and commitment.
You are no longer a civilian. Whatever you were before is now over. You are about to begin a journey that's going to make you a part of the greatest naval force the world has ever known. This training will not be easy. It wasn't meant to be.
Our training environment is controlled chaos. And while it may not seem like that to the recruits, each and every event has meaning and purpose.
You're gonna sound off at the top of your lungs. Do you understand?
We are designed to develop skill sets that sailors can carry throughout their entire career.
All right. So they're gonna feed you, they're gonna give you your uniforms. I just thought this was cool. You go through your basic military issue, you get your PT gear, your ditty bag, your first issue of clothes, and things like that. These days you go through a processing period, and then you kind of form up and you get in your divisions and you kind of group up that way and you go through. But dental, you're gonna get your dental. You're going to go through, they're going to run your background checks again in case you lied about anything, and they scare you depending on your job. For me, I had a top secret clearance, so I had to get pulled off to the side and go get an interview and things like that because I was in IT. So it's just interesting depending on your rate, kind of how you come about. Also, you're going to get different jobs assigned in boot camp. My advice is volunteer for everything. Now, if you want to keep your head down and that sort of thing, perfectly fine. But if you feel like you've got some leadership attributes, you can be kind of the leader, the RPOC or the APOC. You can be a master at arms. These days in boot camp, you can make rank as long as you don't get fired from the job by volunteering for some of those jobs. In my case, I ended up being assigned the laundry petty officer. So I went in as an E1, graduated boot camp as an E1, and had to work up from the bottom. So back to the video.
We push hard on physical fitness. Watch standing.
Looking, man, look! Try it, read it, and look.
And creating a warrior mindset.
Now with the mental scan, you're going to be focused on your mind.
A true body, mind, and soul approach.
Yes, indoors.
What will you say in every single box? Age and allergies. So your age and your allergies.
All right, I'm going to pause it here. It's the infamous shots. They're going to give you everything. the whole smorgasbord of shots. We've all stood in lines, waited, you're scared, you don't like needles. When I was in, for you guys, think about my case. They had the old school stapler type CO2 injection. So when we walked up, I had boo, 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 boo. And then they also give you the peanut butter shot. It's been called that forever. All right, I don't know about other branches, but in the Navy, that's what we called it. And they were like, warm this up, put this under your armpit, because it's going to get injected in you, and you're going to be so sore. And I believe the next day after you get this thing is like a running evolution. So get your shots. We all go through it. It's something. There's not much else to say on that. They're trying to keep you healthy, and they're trying to keep anybody that is sick, that's behind on their shots, from getting everybody else sick.
Your allergies, they should not have to ask you. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Please make sure your sleeves are rolled up high so they do not interfere with the shots. Stickers should be centered high as well. From this point on, there should be no talking unless you or the person next to you needs medical attention. Do you understand?
Yes, ma'am.
Boot camp is approximately 8 weeks, and all enlistees into the United States Navy begin their careers at the command. Training includes physical fitness, seamanship, firearms familiarization, firefighting and shipboard damage control, lessons in Navy heritage and core values, teamwork and discipline.
All right, the infamous tear gas chamber. Everybody has the story. It's just something that kind of burns into your memory. At the end of the day, you're not dying or anything. It's a crowd dispersant, right? So we all go into the infamous gas chamber. In my case, we had a different gas mask than what you see here. We had MC2 Papa, so it has a voice amplifier, comes in small, medium, large, extra large. They issue them to you when you get out to the fleet. It's double paned. You kind of wear it when you go to general quarters or battle stations. You'll have it on your side. If they say gas, you don it. We have a canister that we don't break, but you simulate it. It has a voice box that's amplified so you can speak to people. Little drinking straw if you're in these things. They're not comfortable. But anyway, back to boot camp. There's always the story of the guy. We're standing in our, in formation in the room. The instructor, the drill instructor, company commander is standing up there, and as he's talking to you, there's this gasless, and you have your mask on, you don't really see it going down, but when, and then all of a sudden he's telling you how to check the seal, you take it off, and you start gasping for air. What's really weird about gas is some guys don't really get a big reaction. Other people, every nose, eyes watering like heck. And what they do is they make you say a general order or something like that before you can get out, because they want to make sure you're not holding your breath, cheating, gaming the system. So when you're saying those general orders, you're sucking in air. If you're talking, you're breathing. So you're getting it. And then you have to get through that. You're waiting in line, and boom, you get out as fast as you can. Let's see what these guys do.
You'll have 5 seconds. Down your faces, tighten your straps, check floor seal, and put your hands in your pockets.
All of our recruits receive training. Receive training that will help them the second they get to the fleet.
Arms up! This side! Put your glasses down!
Firefighting, damage control, weapons and seamanship. Our recruits get hands-on training and application with them all.
One of my favorite parts. Stand by.
Go, let's move. I tell you to do something on this line, you do it.
All right, really quick. So they shoot Berettas. When I was in, we had Colt 1911s. Yeah, we'd be on the quarterdeck on the ships. The guys on duty would be carrying those. You rattle them, everything like that. You always wondered if they'd really work when the time came. These days, you are going to shoot the Berettas in boot camp. What I like about what they have now is, as you guys are going to see, they have they play it really safe. It's normally, I always say Master at Arms, but it's run by, yeah, I think it is the MAs. They'll teach them basic gun handling, dry firing. They're on non-firing weapons here. They're red. And then later on, they're going to CO2 them. They'll put on their battle belts or with their drop holsters, things like that. So I really like what they do. If you score really well, you can get one of 3 awards / ribbons. You get your marksmanship, your pistol. We have pistol and rifle, and you get marksmanship, sharpshooter, or expert. So those are good. They go in your military record. In boot camp, they're not doing shotgun. These days they're just doing the pistol. And when you get to your next duty station, you can find out who's doing it, what command, what area, and you might be able to get in there and take your rifle, which is M4 or things like that. When I was in, it was M14s, things of that nature. All right, let's have a look and see what they do.
Make sure that muzzle's staying downrange where it needs to be. Index that next magazine, okay? Finger in the front, index finger in the front, thumb in the back. Get as much meat on it as you can.
Don't lean back, making everybody else around be safe until it's their turn. Stand by.
Gambit! 2-week gambit! All right, put your ears on.
Again, 1 breath. Face comes up, 1 breath, back down.
All right, water evolution, going to the pool, getting your swim. They all have it. We have to jump off the diving platform. They'll figure out who can swim and who can't. I know, it's the Navy. A lot of folks can't swim. If you come from the cities, you just don't go every day. You don't get exposed to it. So literally, you can join the Navy, not know how to swim. The catch is they're going to identify that. They're going to pull you off to the side, and you have to go back. So they're going to kind of put you in the swim groups that continue how to that teach you, and you're going to practice and get those basics down until you can doggy paddle and what things of that nature. And then you have up until the time you get out of boot camp, or they'll set you back or roll you back.
So I need everything you got, because once we start this evolution again, I'm going to expect you to adapt, overcome, and beat.
Ready up, all lines man and ready. Ready up, all lines man and ready.
All right, really quick. The cadence, the marching, the drill. You march to the chow hall. You march to different classrooms. You'll leave everywhere we go. We're marching, or you're double timing, these sort of things. The big thing is, if you're new to this, you vets all know this, it's called being in step. You can always watch someone who's out of step, and it's a pride thing. You guys get tighter, you get cleaner. As a division, you're going to march better, and you have pride, and you're kind of building yourself up in this. And then you have the guy off to the side with the cool voice calling a cadence. And when I was in each company or each division, you were cool. Your independence, your uniqueness, your identity. When you go compete for awards, you want to be louder, cooler, badder with your cadences and things of that nature. So you never forget that experience. Just various moments that just come back as I watch this video.
Recruit training is not an endeavor to be taken lightly. The workload is heavy and the recruits must adjust to a completely new way of life. Classroom and skills instruction by the RDC gives recruits information on how to adjust to and succeed within the Navy. In addition to classroom instruction, recruits spend time learning the fundamentals of small arms marksmanship, seamanship, water survival, line handling, and firefighting.
All right, let me talk about this for a minute. Firefighting is a big, big deal. If you're first getting to the fleet after your boot camp, then you go to your A school. Some have C schools, which is a follow-on school, but you learn your job at A school. When you get to the fleet, if you're the junior guy, you're paying your dues, bud. So instead of doing your job, sometimes you're in the berthing compartments, you're cleaning all day, you're waxing floors, cleaning. You do get to rotate and kind of go back to where you're in my case, it was radio in the comms. We're doing IT, computers, communications. So I can go back to radio when I would work. But at night, in the morning, cleaning, that sort of thing, somebody's got to clean the P-ways, the passageways, the decks, the bulkheads. It's generally the guy on the bottom of that totem pole. So it's all about the ranking structure. E1, E2, E3s, even E4s will be out there depending on the size of your ship, what command you're in, that sort of thing. Firefighting. If you go to general quarters or it's in your record, as soon as you check on a command, you got an ingress, egress. You put on your escape breathing apparatus. It kind of in the dark. It's a qual. It's a signature. They want to know that you can get in, you can get out. In terms of firefighting, yeah, you're going to be in a firefighting locker. There's strategic places all around the ship. For me, I was in damage control on one of them because my communications officer, his next job was engineering. So he had me in there on the whiteboard, tracking general quarters and firefighting drills. Back to firefighting. There's generally two teams, okay? You're going to do it. You're going to put on flash gear. The idea is you cover up all exposed skin. You will go to I went to a firefighting school when I was in Yokosuka, Japan. They had a state-of-the-art facility and that sort of things. You're going to see it here. But generally, yeah, you're going to get real good at firefighting. Line handling. Generally, you have one team attacking a fire. You have one team cooling down with a spray, cooling down in a different way. We have all kinds of foams. You have to know how to rig the gear, maintenance the gear, roll it out. You get hot in these uniforms, but think about it. If you're in the Army, you're out in the field. If you're in the Navy, when it's go time and you're in battle stations, someone's got to fight the fire.
During the first training week, divisions enter into the competitive aspects of training. Excellence in academic achievement, military drill, cleanliness, and athletics all count toward earning recognition flags.
All right, really quick here. These are some of those jobs. This is a yeoman. There's different jobs where you can kind of make rank. They need people to do appointments for the recruits and things of that nature. So if you volunteer for some of those jobs, it might help you.
Execute the mission, and the next time I see you, you'll be sailors. Booyah Navy.
Everything they learn is tested in battle stations.
Identify yourself.
Chief, Division 001, man and ready for battle station, Chief.
Very well.
Do not relax anything that is on you. Now, do you understand?
A 24-hour event where the recruit ceases to exist
First shot!
and a sailor is forged.
Real quick, Marines, they have the crucible. We have battle station.
Navy boot camp really is a machine with a swarm of moving parts, all working towards the same goal, making a sailor. The sailors forged here are the bedrock of our naval forces. They give our Navy its combat edge and enable us to help keep this nation secure. Each of them you see here today has earned the right to wear the uniform recognized throughout the world as a symbol of freedom. Ladies and gentlemen, I present to you the newest and sharpest sailors in the United States Navy.
Presenting Division 267.
All right, guys, this is my company. I'm giving y'all some old school footage. How about these barracks from San Diego? We were down there on the bottom left. This is what it's like back in my day. Still looks very similar, doesn't it? That guy right there went on to the SEALs, or at least to try out for Navy SEALs. I always wondered if he made it. Oh, buddy, you will know how to shine some shoes. Pics from my graduation. Our dress blues. And there's yours truly. A young me. There's my company commanders. You never forget them. BM1 Vegas, MM1 Morris. That's it, guys. Appreciate you. Like and subscribe. And we're out of here.